Hello, it's Anne, traveling alone in Europe. 26 safety tips I never travel without. If you're planning to travel through Europe alone, I don't want this video to scare you. Europe can be an incredible place to travel by yourself. But there's something I've learned from spending a lot of time traveling around Europe. Being prepared is very different from being afraid. When you're traveling alone, there isn't another person with you who can make a phone call, find a hotel, watch your luggage, or figure out what to do when something goes wrong. So I have a list of things I do before I leave and things I never travel without. Some are incredibly simple, and some are things I learned from experience. So if you're planning to travel through Europe, especially if this is your first time traveling alone, here are some things I want you to know. Number one, research your neighborhood, not just your hotel. This is probably one of my biggest tips. When you're booking a hotel or Airbnb, don't just look at the property, look at the neighborhood, because you can have a beautiful, highly rated apartment in a neighborhood where you don't actually want to be walking alone at night. Before I book, I want to know, where is the nearest train station? Where is the metro or bus stop? Are there any grocery stores nearby? Restaurants, pharmacies, medical facilities? How far will I have to walk with my luggage? And most importantly, what does this neighborhood look like after dark? I'll use maps, street view, reviews, and local information, as well as Google Earth to get a feel for the area. I'll even look at the walk from the train station to my accommodation, because there's a huge difference between it's only a 12-minute walk and it's a 12-minute dragging a suitcase down a dark street after getting off a train at 10:30 at night. So don't just research the destination, research your front door. Number two, arrive during the day whenever possible. This is one of my favorite travel rules. I'd rather pay a little more and arrive during daylight than save money and arrive at midnight, especially when you're traveling somewhere you've never been. If I'm changing cities, I try to take an earlier train or flight. This gives me time to find my accommodation, figure out the transportation system, get groceries, walk around the neighborhood, and get oriented before it gets dark. There's something psychologically different about arriving in a new city at 2 p.m. versus arriving at 11 p.m. During the day, everything feels easier. There are people around, businesses are open, transportation is running more frequently, and if something goes wrong, you have more options. Number three, have a plan for getting from the airport or station to your accommodation. Don't wait until you get off the train or plane to figure this out. Before I arrive, I want to know, where am I going? How am I getting there? How much should it cost? And what's my backup plan? If I'm taking a taxi or rideshare, I will know what the legitimate service looks like before I arrive. If I'm taking public transportation, I've already looked at the route. And if I'm walking, I've looked at the actual streets. This also keeps you from standing outside a train station with your suitcase, staring completely lost at your phone. Number four, take screenshots of everything important. Before leaving Wi-Fi, take screenshots of your accommodation address, your reservation, your host's contact information, your train ticket, your flight information, your transportation route, and anything else you might need if your internet disappears. Screenshots are useful if your internet connection stops working, but remember, they won't help you if your phone battery dies. So for anything absolutely critical, especially your accommodation address, emergency contacts, and key travel information, I also recommend keeping a written or printed backup because your phone may not always be available when you need it. Number five, download offline maps and test them. Don't just assume your Google Maps will work when you get to Europe. Before I leave for a trip, I download the maps for the areas I'm going to visit, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. If you're using Google Maps, open the app and make sure you're signed into your Google account. Tap the profile picture in the upper right-hand corner. Then choose Offline Maps. From there, select your own map. You'll see a box that you can move around and zoom in or out. For example, if I'm spending several days in Paris, I don't just download the little section around my hotel. I'll zoom out and include the parts of the city I'm likely to visit. Then tap Download. And now that map is stored on your phone. But here's the part I really want you to do. Test it before you leave. Turn off your cellular data, or even put your phone in airplane mode, and open the map. Make sure you can still find your location and navigate around the downloaded area, because the worst time to discover that you didn't actually download what you needed is when you're standing outside a train station in a foreign country with no internet. If you're traveling through several European cities, download each one. For example, Paris, Barcelona, Madrid, Rome, whatever cities are on your itinerary. And remember that an offline map only covers the area you downloaded. So give yourself some room. Save your hotel or Airbnb location in your maps. Don't just save the name. Make sure you have the actual street address. And I like having the address written down somewhere too. If you see my other videos, you know why. If my phone dies, I can still show that address to a taxi driver, hotel employee, police officer, or someone I'm asking for directions. Before leaving Wi-Fi, screenshot your train ticket, your departure time, train number, station, and if your platform number is available, screenshot that too. And also screenshot your destination, because your map tells you where you are. Your ticket tells you where you're supposed to be going. You want both. Your phone is an amazing travel tool, but your phone should not be your only travel plan. I want my offline map, screenshots of important information, my accommodation address, my itinerary, a backup phone, a power bank, and ideally some important information written down. Because if my phone dies, gets lost, gets stolen, or simply stops connecting to the internet, I still need to be able to get myself home. The goal isn't to expect something to go wrong. It's to make sure that if something does go wrong, it doesn't ruin your trip. Number 6, I travel with a backup phone. This is one of my biggest recommendations for solo travelers. I like having a second phone. It doesn't have to be your newest phone. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be an older phone that still works. But if you're buying a backup phone, specifically for international travel, I recommend looking for an unlocked phone with a physical SIM tray. Why, you ask? Because if something happens to your primary phone, or you simply lose your eSIM, or can't get your regular services working, you have another way to get connected. And here's one thing that's particularly useful in France. As an American traveler, you can go into a Tabac, purchase certain prepaid SIM cards without having to set up a traditional French mobile account, which will require an IBAN number. I'll do another video about that sometime. So if your primary phone stops working, you have the option of putting a local prepaid SIM into your backup phone and getting connected again. That's why I specifically recommend a backup phone with a physical SIM tray. If you're traveling in Europe, and here's the most important part, don't keep both phones in the same place. If your primary phone is in your handbag, don't put the backup phone right next to it. Keep them separate. The entire purpose is redundancy. One phone fails, you still have another way to communicate, navigate, translate, and get help. Number 7, bring a power bank, the right cables, and a wall adapter. A dead phone can become much more than an inconvenience when you're traveling alone. Your phone may be your map, your boarding pass, hotel reservation, translator, bank, camera, communication device, and emergency connection. So I travel with a good power bank. But there's something else you absolutely need: the correct wall adapter for the country you're visiting. Your American charger may not physically fit into a European outlet. Matter of fact, I'm sure it won't. So before you leave, make sure you have an appropriate plug adapter for your destination. And don't confuse a plug adapter with a voltage converter. For most modern phone and laptop chargers, the charger itself is designed to handle the voltage used in Europe. But check the input specifications on your particular charger before plugging it in. I also bring more than one charging cable, because cables fail and frequently do. And if you only brought one cable and it stops working, suddenly that power bank isn't very helpful. So my basic phone charging kit is power bank, backup charging cable, wall charger, and the appropriate European plug adapter. And here's my rule: charge before you need it. Don't wait until your phone is at 4%. Number 8, don't put everything important in one place. Don't keep all your money, cards, identification, and electronics together. One payment card in my wallet, another secured separately, some emergency cash somewhere separate. Because if your handbag disappears and your entire financial life is inside that handbag, you've suddenly got a much bigger problem. The goal isn't paranoia. The goal is, if I lose one thing, I don't lose everything. Number 9, have digital and physical backups of important documents. Before traveling, make sure you can access your passport information, travel insurance information, accommodation information, emergency contacts, flight and train reservations, and anything else that would be difficult to replace. I also like having a physical copy of important information because electronics can fail. Number 10, give someone your itinerary. When you're traveling alone, someone at home should know roughly where you are. They don't need to know your every movement, but they should know where you're staying, when you're moving to another city, your flight information, and how to reach you. For longer trips, establish some kind of check-in routine. Something as simple as, I'll text you when I arrive. Number 11, share your location when it makes sense. Modern phones give solo travelers something we didn't have years ago: location sharing. You can choose a trusted person and share your location with them. You don't have to have somebody watching your every movement. But when you're moving between cities or traveling late, it's another layer of protection. Number 12, know 112 before you need it. If you're traveling within the European Union, know this number, 112. It's the EU emergency number and can connect you with emergency services such as police, fire, and ambulance. It's free. Don't wait until you're having an emergency to figure this out. Put it in your phone. And also look up any country-specific emergency information for places you're visiting. Know where your country's embassy and consulate are located as well. Number 13, don't advertise you're traveling alone. You don't have to tell every stranger you're alone. You don't have to announce, I'm traveling by myself. You don't have to tell someone you just met where you're staying. And you don't need to give strangers your hotel name or room number. You can be friendly without giving people personal information. If someone asks if you're alone, you can simply say, I'm meeting someone later. You don't owe strangers your itinerary. Number 14, trust your instincts. This may be the most important tip in the entire video. If something feels wrong, you don't have to prove it's wrong. You don't have to be polite. You don't have to worry about offending someone. You don't have to stay because you don't want to seem rude. If someone is making you uncomfortable, leave. Go into a store, walk into a hotel, go toward other people, call someone, ask for help. Your intuition doesn't have to pass a courtroom standard of evidence before you're allowed to act on it. Number 15, be careful with distractions. Tourist areas can attract people who know exactly how to distract tourists. You might encounter fake petitions, people asking you to sign something, someone spilling something on you, someone suddenly needing your help, someone getting unusually close to you, or someone insisting that you follow them somewhere. You don't have to figure out whether they're legitimate. You can simply say, no thank you, and keep moving, especially if the interaction causes you to stop, open your handbag, pull out your wallet, or hand over your phone. Number 16, how I prevent pickpocketing. Let's talk about something that concerns a lot of people when they travel to Europe, pickpocketing. And I don't think you should walk around Europe terrified someone is going to steal your belongings. But crowded tourist environments can create opportunities for theft. So I try to make myself a difficult target. First, don't carry your wallet or phone in your back pocket. If someone can reach it without you feeling it, you've made their job easy. Second, keep your handbag in front of you in crowded places, especially on a metro, train, bus, market, or at a major tourist attraction. If I'm carrying a crossbody bag, which I highly recommend, I keep the strap across my body and the bag where I can see it. Third, zip everything. If your bag has a zipper, zip it. Don't walk around in a crowded tourist area with your handbag hanging wide open. Don't put your phone or wallet into an outside pocket that's easy to reach. Don't put your phone on the table at a cafe. You're sitting outside enjoying your coffee. You put your phone on the table. Someone approaches you. They ask a question. They put something on your table. Your attention moves for just a second. And then suddenly your phone has disappeared. Keep your phone on you. Fifth, be extra alert when someone suddenly gets very close to you, especially if you're entering or exiting in metro. If someone bumps into you, suddenly stops in front of you, creates confusion, or several people crowd around you, that's when I become more aware of my belongings. You don't need to panic. Just check your phone, wallet, and bag. And here's another important one. Don't keep everything together. If your passport, credit cards, cash, and phone are all in the same handbag, one theft can become a major problem. Spread things out. Keep a backup payment card somewhere separate. Keep emergency cash separate. And don't carry your passport around unnecessarily if you have a secure place to leave it. And finally, don't let a pickpocket turn your attention into their weapon. If someone creates an unusual distraction, you don't have to engage. Someone wants you to sign something? No thank you. Someone wants to help you with something you didn't ask for? A big no thank you. Someone suddenly bumps into you. Take a second and check your belongings. Number 17, keep your phone and bag under control on public transportation. Crowded transportation is exactly where you need to pay the most attention. I don't want my phone sticking out of the back pocket. I don't want my handbag hanging behind me. I don't want my passport and wallet somewhere easily accessible. And if I'm wearing a backpack, I move it to the front. When I'm in a crowded area, I'm much more conscious of where my belongings are, especially when people suddenly crowd around me. Number 18, don't let your phone make you look lost. If I need to check a map, I often step inside a cafe. There's a difference between checking a map and standing on a street corner for 5 minutes, turning around, trying to figure out where you're going. Hotel lobby, shop, or other public space. Get oriented, then I continue. Number 19, be smart about nighttime. I'm not saying never go out at night. Europe has wonderful restaurants, concerts, nightlife, and evening events. But when you're alone, be intentional. Know how you're getting home before you go out. Know which transportation options are going to be operating. Have enough battery. Have enough money. And if you've been drinking, be especially careful. You don't want to lose the ability to make good decisions in an unfamiliar place when you're by yourself. Number 20, know your way home before you go out. Before you leave for dinner or an event, know where is the station? When is the last train? Can I get a taxi? Is a rideshare available? Is the area walkable? And if my phone dies, what's going to be my backup plan? The worst time to discover the last train left 20 minutes ago is at 11:47 p.m. when you're standing alone outside the station. Number 21, keep all essentials in your carry-on bag. Never put everything you absolutely need into checked luggage. Your carry-on should contain things like your passport, wallet, phone, chargers, power bank, important documents, medications, essential toiletries, and at least a basic change of clothes. If your check bag disappears for 2 days, you don't want your entire life disappearing with it. Number 22, have emergency cash and a backup payment method. Cards are wonderful until they're not. Your bank could block a transaction. An ATM could be unavailable. Your phone could be dead, or a card could disappear. So I like having a backup card, a small amount of emergency cash, and a way to access my money that doesn't depend entirely on my primary phone. Again, redundancy. Number 23, consider international travel or expat health insurance. If you're traveling internationally, I strongly recommend looking into travel medical insurance before you leave. And this isn't just for people who are moving abroad or staying for months. Even if you're taking a relatively short trip, your U.S. health insurance may not cover you the way you expect when you're outside the country. I personally use SafetyWing when I'm traveling internationally, but there are several companies and plans you can compare. The important thing is, look at what the policy actually covers. Does it cover emergency medical treatment, hospitalization, medical evacuation, your entire destination, your entire travel period? And what happens if you need to extend your trip? Look at the coverage limits, deductible, exclusions, and eligibility requirements. If you're going to be living abroad for an extended period, that's when you may want to look beyond ordinary travel insurance and compare international health expat insurance as well. The right policy depends on your trip. But when you're traveling alone, I think having some type of appropriate medical coverage is an important part of your safety plan. Number 24, learn a few words in the local language. You don't need to become fluent, but learn words like help, police, doctor, where is, whatever it is. I don't understand. Please call an ambulance, and learn how to say the name of your hotel or accommodation. You may never need these words, and I hope you don't, but if you do, you'll be glad you know them. Number 25, don't be afraid to ask for help. Being independent doesn't mean you have to handle everything yourself. If you're lost, ask a hotel employee. If you're uncomfortable, walk into a busy business. If you think you're being followed, tell someone. If something happens, contact the police. Find a uniformed employee at a station. Ask for help. There's no prize for being the traveler who refuses assistance. Number 26, have a what if my phone dies plan. Let's put all of this together. Imagine your phone dies. Could you still find your hotel? Know your hotel address? Access your train ticket? Contact someone? Find the nearest station? Get emergency help? Pay for something? If the answer is no, fix that before you leave. The most important safety tool isn't something you pack. And finally, after all these things, the backup phone, power bank, the maps, the emergency numbers, the extra card, the cash, the copies of your documents, the insurance, there's one more thing, your judgment. You don't have to be afraid of Europe. You don't have to assume everyone is dangerous. And you don't have to spend your vacation looking over your shoulder. But you should pay attention. Notice your surroundings. Plan ahead. Don't advertise you're alone. And when something doesn't feel right, give yourself permission to leave. Because solo travel is one of the most empowering things you can do. And being prepared doesn't take away from the adventure. It allows you to enjoy the adventure. If you're planning a trip to Europe by yourself, I hope this video gives you a little more confidence and a little more peace of mind. And if you traveled alone to Europe, I want to hear from you. What's one safety tip you would add to this list? Put it in the comments because your tip might help another traveler. And if you're planning to travel through Europe, subscribe to On Becoming French. I share things I've learned from actually living and traveling in Europe, not just the picture-perfect version you see on Instagram. I'll see you in the next video. Sending love from the United States.